Hold on. Everything is falling apart in my studio. Boom. Right. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name's Ian and I'm a filmmaker based in Birmingham in England. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about Sony and the fact that I've left them and I've moved over to the dark side, which is Lumix S5 II. I'm just going to talk a little bit about my Sony journey and why I moved over. I haven't quite finished my Sony journey. I still own the FX6 and the FX3 as I am a commercial filmmaker, so a lot of the stuff I shoot on is the FX6 and FX3 at the moment for those kind of jobs. I have shot a few little jobs on the Lumix S5 II where it's been possible and I've really enjoyed using it. I was shooting originally with the A7 IV and I sold that and picked up the Lumix S5 II. Now the reasons I did that was the fact that I wasn't really enjoying shooting with Sony anymore, and I'm not enjoying the way Sony are treating their people basically, because I think that Sony are just bringing out new cameras, and they're not really jumping on and helping develop the ones that they've got. I understand that they need to make money, but for people who have forked out good money on like A1s, A7S3s, and they're not getting the updates of other cameras, I think it's just, I just don't agree with that. So Lumix are a company who really listen to their users and you know, they're up for improving the cameras where they can. They're not just about bringing new cameras out. Although I am kind of excited to see an S1H Mark II or the S1 Mark II, whatever it's called, because I think that'll just be a killer camera. I've got to say, since I've been using the Lumix, and this video is basically for anybody who's thinking about jumping ship from Sony to Lumix, or is stuck on the fence about whether to buy a Lumix S5 II or stick with Sony. I'm just going to go through what I love about these cameras. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is the autofocus. The autofocus on the S5 II is absolutely amazing. I think it's definitely up there with Sony. I don't really notice any difference between them at all. I've had no problems with it focusing on anything, and there's times I've used the S5 II and I've actually thought it's been better than the Sony. So when it comes to that, you can say what you want in the comments, but honestly, since I've been using these cameras, I'm absolutely loving the autofocus. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the V-Log. The V-Log to me is way better than the S-Log that I've been using. The noise on the S5 is great. It's really organic, it looks beautiful. Whereas the noise on Sony when you underexpose stuff is just horrendous. It looks horrible and digital. That's something I've definitely noticed. But the V-Log color profile is amazing. If you drop the conversion LUT straight on V-Log, it looks way better than dropping a conversion LUT straight on S-Log. I don't care what anyone says. I have been through and tried both, and they definitely are different, without a doubt. The next thing is on the S5 II, you get tons more features, video features in. You get shutter angle, which is absolutely awesome. You're going to get 6K open gate, which is something that I've really enjoyed using as well. There's histograms, there's luma waveforms on here, there's spot meters as well, which is just awesome. I really love the preamps for the audio in this camera as well. That's definitely something that I've really enjoyed. You've got 2 customizable zebra settings as well. There is just tons and tons of stuff in this camera compared to other Sony cameras that I've used. So yeah, apart from that, I am going to talk about a few negatives that I've found on this camera. Obviously one's going to be the 50 frames crop, which is such a shame that has this. That is cropped on the S5 II. I mean, it was cropped on the A7 IV, so I can't really complain. But that has actually changed my shooting style a little bit. I feel like I don't really shoot a lot of slow motion anymore compared to what I used to shoot. I've kind of gone a little bit off slow motion because it's just become the new fad that everyone does, and it's a little bit boring. So a lot of B-roll stuff I'm shooting at the moment, I shoot at normal speed, and I'm actually quite enjoying that. The next thing I'm going to say is the HDMI port. Now, when you've got a HDMI cable in there, you cannot twist the back screen. That's really freaking annoying. I'm not gonna lie, that's so annoying. Compared to my FX3, when I've got a HDMI port in there, I can still utilize that screen. But yeah, I can't on this, and that's a little bit annoying. That's really annoyed me a little bit. I'm gonna say the build quality to a degree is definitely not Sony level. This SD card slot, although it works nice and it's quite pleasing, it is very plasticky over the Sony stuff. But all in all, for the price that you can pick these cameras up is incredible. I picked up, I've got two bodies now. I picked the second body up for 1500, which is pretty much a brand new camera. And I picked my first S5 II up as an open box from Wex, which is a video camera company here in the UK. I picked it up for just under £2,000 with a 50mm 1.8 and the 20 to 60 zoom lens, which was an absolute steal. I've since sold those two lenses and I've moved on to the full Sigma range now. I have all the Sigma primes that I've picked up. So I've got the 24, 35, 50 and 85, and I'm actually shooting on the 35 1.4 currently with my other S5 II body, so you can actually see what the colours look like and the autofocus and see what you think. But apart from that, yeah, I feel like L-mount is definitely making a move. We've seen in the news that Blackmagic might be getting on board and doing something with that. So I think Leica and Panasonic, there's definitely something going on there which is good, and it's a great time to be part of the Lumix scene if you are thinking about getting on board. Do not fear getting on board. There are a lot of people out there saying, you know, bagging on Sony and bagging on Lumix and saying it's not as good as Sony and it's not worth it. I can guarantee you Lumix cameras are wicked. It's a great way into filmmaking. I'm using all these for my documentary stuff, and I will be in the future and going forward. I'm going to post up a few photos and video samples as well so you guys can see stuff I've shot on them. But yeah, I am loving this camera, and I'm definitely going to be moving forward with Lumix, and hopefully if they get that S1H Mark II out, I'll be really interested to try that camera as well. So this video is just for you guys. If you're stuck on the fence between Sony and Lumix, just don't be afraid, give Lumix a go. I'm sure you'll be super impressed. And that's what I want to talk about. If you do want any help with Lumix, then feel free to DM me on my Instagram. I'll leave a link here, or also just drop me a message on my website or on the comments below, and I'll be quick to help you out. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another video soon. See you later.